One day I was going on a run. I couldn't wait to go outside because, I was super hyped to go on a run, to go like try to beat my PR. And so I grab my phone and I grab my AirPods and I just go out there. Before I go out and run, I play a song. And then while I'm running, while maybe like 4 or 5 minutes after the song ended, I went to go play another song. And then after that, went to go play another song. But then I ended up going on YouTube for a little bit, watching a couple of little videos. And then I ended up thinking about that one episode of that one show I was watching. And then I ended up watching that show, and the run that I originally intended on going on became just me going outside, being on my phone. And this is where I actually learned that I have a phone addiction and that I needed to cure it somehow. Well, before we get into the video, if you don't know who I am, my name is Sam. On this channel, I talk anything about fitness, philosophy, and just general things of life. If this interests you at all, then feel free to subscribe, join our movement. First of all, what is defined as a phone addiction? So most people are going to tell you it's like 10 hours a day of spending on your phone, doing nothing productive, which in reality it really is. But the thing that you can simplify it even more into it being drowning yourself in the content for hours at a time and getting nothing out of it. Like this is really the phone addiction that we're going to be speaking about. It's about you guys who maybe you're scrolling on YouTube, on Insta, on TikTok, on just at watching binge watching shows on Netflix. It does not matter. It's not just limited to social media, but also simply just playing video games, of watching content. Unless you're sitting down watching a lot of healthy educational content, you're probably most likely have a phone addiction. However, like I mentioned earlier, how like you just intended to go do something else, but then you hear a buzz on your phone, and then you go look at your phone, and then all of a sudden you're drowning yourself in content or messages and doing all this stuff instead of doing something productive. And then afterwards, you feel like your brain is fried. Like I don't know how else to describe it, but your brain is fried from sitting down and just enjoying all this content. And then you think to yourself, holy shit, I wasted 2 fucking hours of just sitting on my phone doing nothing when I could have spent that doing something else. And maybe you'd want to fix that because you want to have that time. You know that we're only limited to so many hours in a day and so many hours of our entire life, and you want to save yourself so you can have time to make stuff that's actually productive. So why exactly do we have phone addictions? Well, it's mostly because modern media makes a buttload of money off of this. They know exactly how to show content that is going to click in your brain. That whenever they give you that notification, it's going to click, and you're going to want to grab the phone, and then you're going to want to spend time looking at it, and they get lots of money from that. Think of all the ads you look at on these social media platforms. You need to understand that they're trying to make a buck off of you. They don't really care about you. That's why you get all these notifications for shit you honestly don't even care about. You got to stop having this idea that it is you have to stop having this idea that there's no way of actually fixing this phone addiction. It's really easy. It's just more likely than not you just don't want to put the steps in for it. So let's actually get into how to actually cure a phone addiction. So first of all, before we get into it, I want you to have this mentality that you're going to be sparing yourself lots of time to actually go enjoy things, go enjoy your life, to go outside, to go work out, to go pick up a girl, whatever it may be, bro. You're going to be saving yourself lots of time from actually doing this, and I want you to actually implement this. So listen along as I'm telling you these things. First thing we want to do is actually turn on grayscale. You can look it up. Basically, just go to your phone, go to settings, look up grayscale or look up color filter. It'll be in one of the two. You're gonna turn it on. It's gonna make your phone black and white. It's gonna make it in black and white. Now, at first, this is gonna be really ugly. Like you're gonna be like, "Holy shit, this looks awful. Everything looks terrible when it's in black and white." But let me tell you that I've had my phone in grayscale for over the past year, and everyone's always like, "Why is your phone in black and white?" But they don't understand that I'm just trying to fix my phone addiction. And what I'll tell you guys is that whenever you put it in grayscale, it's going to be cutting off all the colors, obviously. So you're not getting all this massive dopamine rush whenever you see all these colors of all these people and these foods and these things on your phone. And naturally, your mind's not going to be as attracted to your phone as it was previously before. I can absolutely vouch for this. I've been using it for over a year, and I've noticed a significant decrease in the amount of time that I've used it. I probably went from about 5, 6 hours on my phone to about 2, 1. I don't really care about looking at my phone as much because everything's in black and white. This is step number one, by the way. This is really kind of a shit test. Like, if you're not willing to have your phone in black and white, then the rest of these things are not going to be for you. So next thing we're going to talk about is putting your phone in airplane mode. Now, I'm not saying walk around all the time with your phone in airplane mode. Obviously, no. But what airplane mode is going to do is you're going to get no notifications from nothing, and you're not going to have any Bluetooth. It's actually going to be essentially like a do not disturb, but for literally everything. Like, what I'm trying to say here is that if you put your phone in, and this goes along with do not disturb. Do not disturb is a good mode to put it in. Just make sure that you filter it out so that you're getting no notifications, and the only notifications you're getting are actual important ones. Like, maybe it's a text from your family, or maybe your girlfriend, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It has to be the most important things. But whenever you're in like a deep focused state, and you're not trying to get a text message from anybody right now, then put on do not disturb and then airplane mode, because then you're guaranteed to not get any sort of contact from anybody. So you can actually focus on what actually matters, which is right now it's your work right now. You don't want to turn on do not disturb, you don't want to turn on airplane mode. Simply, one of the best things you can do is simply turn off notifications from everything except the very important things. So, for instance, you have like 50 apps on your phone, but let's be honest, like, you only really need like three of them. Like, let's be honest, you only really need like three of them, three or four of them. Like, in your day-to-day life, how many do you actually open up? So instead of being bombarded with all of these notifications from apps you don't use, you're going to want to decrease that. So you're only going to be getting notifications from the apps that you need. And you can take this to an even further step and simply just delete all those apps that you don't use, that you know aren't going to help you at all. So, for instance, you have a social media addiction. It might be beneficial to delete the social media apps, so you don't even have access to it, even if you wanted to go do it. I think this is kind of like a no-brainer. Is simply to just keep your phone away from you. Like, keep your phone like in a separate room from you. Don't keep it in the same room if you're trying to focus on your work. Put it in a different room, or put it like right now. My phone is sitting down on the ground on the other side of my bed. So there's no reason, unless I get up, which I'm not going to get up and go grab my phone. Unless I get up, I'm not going to go and grab my phone. It's not right next to me. You know, whenever you're trying to do like a study session and then you hear your phone buzz and all of a sudden you just have that urge to go grab it. We're trying to avoid that. So keep it in a separate space from you, or turn it off, put it in your book bag. Just keep it away out of sight. Final tip I'm going to tell you guys, and this is going into another bracket, is probably the most important thing, the most important mentality to have, is that we're not necessarily trying to bring our phone time to zero. That's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is we're trying to not spend nearly as much time wasting it, and more time in actually investing in ourselves. So instead of you opening up your apps, your social medias, and just scrolling on people's feed and stuff, what we want to try to do instead is we're going to try to want to spend the time that we do use our phone on educational content to better ourselves. Maybe it's a meditation app, maybe it's watching a podcast that's talking about stuff that's going to help you out. You want to spend your time wisely, because because like right now I probably have like 3 hours on my phone right now, and this little increase of time really comes from me spending it on stuff that's actually going to help invest in my time. I don't have this mentality of wasting time on my phone for stuff that I know isn't going to help me. So instead of worrying so much about, oh, my screen time was 1 hour, 2 hours, what did you spend those hours doing on your phone? Because it's just like the same guy who sits down and says, "Oh, I only play 1 hour of video games every day." Well, yeah, that's cool and all, but that's still 1 hour you could have done something. So make the hours that you do use it, make the majority of the time use your phone into hours that's actually going to be investing into the things that you're doing, your workouts, your meditation, your business, whatever it may be. Try to use your phone as an asset instead of just criticizing it. That's all I have for you boys.